What's going on, Robert? In the future, 1 year, um, 1 year into the future, I often overestimate my accomplishments as far as what I will do in a year. But now that I have the foundational skill sets of scaling a company, I'm aware that I can do it as fast as I used to dream of. Back then, I used to have unrealistic expectations because I didn't have the foundation. I didn't have a car that was already moving in order to go 100 miles an hour. I was walking and trying to run 100 miles an hour instead of building the skill sets, which is the car in the vehicle. It's hard to make a great analogy for all this business stuff, but I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the work ethic, character traits, beliefs, all that. Now I have most of those. So I know how to run ads. I know how to do this, that, and the third. I'm running ads right now. You should see. I doubted myself on testing a certain thing, and it ended up doing really good. So I tested like a few audiences. This is the techno babble stuff, but I tested a few audiences and ended up getting a cheaper cost per lead and a way cheaper cost per call. I lowered my cost per call. The usual one's like 100. This one is $36. But of course, I won't get too much in that. But yeah, future you, you're no longer living here, which is at the mom's crib. You're at a nice place. You probably paid off the G thing that's sitting outside, the Genesis, my first car. Probably gave it to Jaden by now, and you probably have either Scat Pack or AMG, whichever you decided to go with. The AMG GT63 or the Scat Pack. Probably the AMG. Who knows, honestly. Both. I don't know. But you are probably making a minimum of $100,000 per month. Yeah, that's what I think. A year is a lot of time. And I know how to speed things up. And I think a cool thing too is I kind of understand like how big businesses start when someone acquires capital. And I think that's possible for me too. I believe so. Because like if I ever ran out of money, I could go and try to find investors to invest in my company, or I can just try to connect with some people who I know who are great at credit to try to get some business funding. But I don't think I will need it. I don't believe I'll need it. Excuse me, but I'm excited to see who you will become. Because what I've learned recently very strongly is that you have to become in order to have. You have to become in order to do, in order to have. And the thing is, you want to become successful, you need to be that type of person consistently for the results to come. And the thing is, people say if you were that type of person, you will already have these things, but that's not exactly true, because there's something called latency. It's the understanding that you can do something, you can do an input, and it'll take a long time, or there can be a delay before the output comes. So I can be a $1 million type of dude for one day, but that outcome is not going to come because I haven't reached that threshold, and then latency happens. So say for instance, in order to completely change your life, you would have to act as a millionaire, do millionaire things, work all the time, focus on high leverage tasks, build your skill sets, build your mindset, build your business. And say for instance, you would have to do that for 90 days straight. And then after that, it's going to take a total of a month before those results just go bang and hit you in the face and you completely just skyrocket, right? You can be that millionaire mindset person and do all those actions for one day, but if you're not consistent, you won't get the outcome. And then if you're not patient, you won't be patient enough for the consistency, which brings the outcome. The consistency part is kind of the latency, which is like how long it takes, because you can be consistent and then right after being consistent for a long time, you get the results. It's hard to explain. It's like it's like DistroKid. It's like when you release music. When you release music, if I were to get 100 million streams today and that gave me $1 million, I wouldn't get that until 3 months. There's a latency factor, so 3 months, right? So if I want to make a consistent income off music, I would post a whole bunch, promote a whole bunch, post a whole bunch, promote a whole bunch consistently, and then I know when that check hits in 3 months, it's going to be consistent because it's a 3-month waiting time. So I'm just filling up all the space so that when those 3 months come, it's going to be consistent. Then after that's consistent, and you should kind of understand that idea here. But yeah, Robert shy in 1 year. I'm proud of you for getting where you got. I'm going to put in a lot of work and be very consistent so that you can live the life you always wanted. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool on the other end of this, watching this. Love you. I don't really have any advice for you because you already know everything I know, I'm pretty sure, right? But stay focused. Always keep God first, family, business. If you end up having kids, make sure you spend time with them. Family's more important than money, which you already know. But God bless. Anybody who's watching this, get some value from this. Hope that you got some value from this. God bless.